All right, let's dive in, shall we? Today we're going deep into Nigeria's oil and gas industry.
Oh, yeah,
And I think you'll find it's a lot more dynamic than some folks might think.
definitely.
We're really going to get into the individuals now leading the charge there.
Right.
And we're basing this deep dive on some excellent reporting by Kase Gabakan,
Uh,
the Energy Business Analytics newsletter.
I was really struck by this changing of the guard,
Oh, yeah.
big time. You have these huge international companies
Hmm.
selling off assets, and in their place, we see Nigerian companies rising up.
Yeah, it's like a whole new landscape emerging, right? And these aren't small potatoes deals either.
No, no, no.
We're talking billions of dollars changing hands here.
Absolutely billions. It's part of this global mergers, acquisitions, and divestments trend.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, Gubakton calls it the May movement, for short.
I like that.
We're seeing giants like ExxonMobil, Shell, Equinor
Wow, the big players.
making serious moves in Nigeria. And I think it raises all sorts of questions about Nigerian leadership in this industry.
Right. So about this mad movement.
Yeah.
Why are these global players deciding to sell off assets in Nigeria? What's driving that?
Well, it's complicated, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
a lot of things. Part of it is this global push for renewable energy sources.
Huh?
Some of these companies are shifting gears, maybe focusing on new regions too.
Yeah.
There are also things specific to Nigeria.
Okay.
Regulatory stuff, security concerns, even just the age of the infrastructure in some oil fields.
So it's not like they're saying Nigeria is doomed. It's more strategic.
Exactly. It's about realignment. And you know what?
Yeah.
This creates a huge opportunity for Nigerian companies.
To just step in.
Yeah, to fill that void. But of course, big opportunity also means big challenges, right?
Mhm.
They're now responsible for managing these assets, keeping that production going, and all while this global energy market is, well,
Kind of a roller coaster.
kind of, yeah, high stakes for sure.
No kidding. So tell me about the players. Who are these Nigerian leaders at the top now?
Well, Gearbon's research found something really interesting.
Oh.
The CEOs, they've got an average of 32 years of experience in the industry.
Whoa. That's like their whole careers.
Right. These aren't newcomers. They've seen it all.
32 years. So what kind of backgrounds do these CEOs have?
You'd think, okay, petroleum engineers.
Right.
Sure, there are some, but
Yeah.
it's way more diverse than that.
Real.
We're talking finance, law. There's even a sociologist in the mix.
A sociologist. That's not what I expected.
Right. It tells you something, though, about how complex running an oil and gas company in Nigeria has become.
Yeah, it's not just about drilling anymore.
No way. These CEOs have to be business savvy, understand regulations, manage relationships,
Hmm?
grasp the social and environmental impact. It's a lot.
They're like Renaissance CEOs.
Uh-huh. Love that. And here's another tidbit.
Okay.
5 out of the 14 CEOs Gearbonkan looked at, guess what? They started at Shell.
No kidding. Shell's like a CEO farm for Nigeria's energy sector then.
Right. What is it about Shell that produces all these leaders? It's a good question.
It is. Maybe their training programs. Or exposure to how things are done internationally.
Could be. But whatever it is, Shell's definitely shaped this leadership landscape.
It's like a pipeline, right? From Shell out to the whole industry.
Yeah.
But it's not all Shell. You said diverse backgrounds.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Many have international experience, worked all over, studied at top schools worldwide.
So they bring that global view, which is probably super valuable now.
Absolutely. It's a blend, right? Deep industry knowledge, diverse skills, and that global perspective.
The total package. Sounds like a recipe for success in such a fast-changing world.
You could say that. But let's not forget about the folks behind these CEOs.
Oh, you mean the teams, the boards, all that?
Exactly. And Jabakan looked at that too, and it's pretty fascinating.
Well, lay it on me. What's going on behind the scenes?
So when Jabakan dug into the management teams, one thing that popped out was the role of women in leadership.
Interesting, yeah. What do you find?
Across all these Nigerian oil and gas companies, women make up 26% of management teams.
Honestly, that's higher than I thought it'd be.
Right.
But are we talking across the board, or are women concentrated in certain areas?
It's not perfectly even, unfortunately. You see
Fascinating.
women leading in HR, legal, external relations, no problem. But when it comes to the technical side, operations, that's where the numbers drop.
Okay, so a decent overall percentage, but still got to break down those barriers in the techie fields, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, there are some women really paving the way.
I'd love to hear about them.
Gubakan highlights a couple. There's Yatunda Taiwo. She's general manager of integrated gas development at First E&P.
Impressive.
And Dr. Augusta Edom, she heads up the technical division at Aeroton.
These are women for young folks to look up to, for sure.
Absolutely. Real role models. They're proving it can be done.
Yeah.
So we've talked CEOs, their teams. What about the boardroom?
The big decision makers, right? What's the story there?
Oh, well, if you thought the CEOs were experienced...
32 years average, right?
Yeah. Hold on to your hat. Board chairs average 38 years in the industry.
Wow, that's a lot of history. Bet they've seen some ups and downs.
You could say that. And it's not just a bunch of, old-timers either. It's a mix.
Like with the CEOs?
Kinda, yeah. You see finance, law. But here's a difference. More PhDs at the board level.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
My guess, they're bringing in serious brain power, strategic thinking, deep analysis,
Makes sense. Long-term vision kind of stuff.
Exactly. So you've got that complementing the CEOs and their teams who are more hands-on.
Nice balance.
Yeah.
Anything else about these boards stand out?
Oh, there's one more thing Bekan pointed out. 24% of board members, they've either been high up in government or have strong political connections.
Wow, nearly a quarter.
Yeah.
Why is that so important in Nigerian oil and gas?
Well, think about it. This industry, it's heavily regulated.
Right, got to play by the rules.
So having those connections can really smooth things over. Approvals, permits, all that.
It's a tightrope, though, isn't it? Using those connections ethically, I mean.
For sure, for sure. Transparency, good governance, got to keep it all above board, literally.
Huh. But yeah, in a tough business environment, those connections can be an ace up their sleeve.
You got it. So we've got experienced CEOs, diverse backgrounds, more women coming up, and boards with all this. Well,
Clout, expertise, sounds like they're ready to tackle anything.
you'd think so, wouldn't you? But don't let that fool ya. They're facing some headwinds.
Really? Like what? I mean, besides managing all these new assets and the global market craziness.
Right. Well, for one, oil production in Nigeria, it's been going down for years.
Oh, that's bad news.
Yeah, these leaders, they got to figure out how to turn that around if they want to keep Nigeria a top producer.
That's a tall order. So why is production dropping and what can they do about it?
Well, some of it's just aging infrastructure,
Stuff gets old.
Exactly. Some oil fields have been around forever. They need investment to keep up. Then there's security. Attacks on pipelines, facilities, all that. It disrupts everything.
Dangerous and costly, too, I bet.
Absolutely. So what are they doing? Investing in tech, trying to be more efficient, eco-friendly too.
Yeah.
They're beefing up security, building relationships with local communities. It's a tough fight, though.
Sounds like it. It's got to be a multi-pronged approach, right? No easy answers.
You said it. But hey, declining production's not the only problem.
Uh-oh, what else is there?
Reserve growth. Got to find new oil, develop new fields.
To replace what they're using up, basically.
Yep. That means exploration, which is risky, expensive stuff.
So they're juggling, like, keeping the lights on while searching for the next big thing.
Exactly. It's a tightrope. But you want to know the biggest challenge of them all?
Hit me with it.
Succession planning. Who's next?
The age-old question. Everyone's got to have a plan for who takes over eventually.
Especially in this industry. You need that experience, that knowledge passed down.
You can't just, like, wing it with oil and gas.
No way. So this current generation, they got to be mentors, develop those future leaders.
It's a legacy thing, right?
Yeah.
Making sure the industry thrives even when they're gone.
That's it. It's not enough to just manage things now. Got to build for the future.
And that means investing in people, making sure there's diversity, new ideas.
You got it. Innovation, collaboration, that's the key. So we've covered a lot, right? Opportunities, challenges, succession. But why should our listener care? That is the question, isn't it? It's bigger than just Nigeria,
What do you mean?
The decisions these leaders make, they'll impact global energy markets.
Wow, that's huge.
Climate change, even geopolitics, it's all connected.
Yeah, you're right. What happens over there affects us all in some way.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important for us, every day.
To pay attention, right?
Yeah. To understand these complex issues, have these conversations about the future.
So bringing it back to this mad movement, how does all this buying and selling fit into the big picture then?
It's reshaping who owns the Nigerian oil and gas industry. That's what's key.
So less international control, more Nigerian.
Exactly. And that could be a really big deal.
Good deal, bad deal.
How do we see it?
Too soon to tell for sure, but there's potential, right?
Okay.
More economic benefits for Nigeria, profits stay in the country, maybe more jobs, local investment, all that.
So it's like Nigeria taking charge of its own destiny, energy-wise.
That's the idea. But Got to be
There are
realistic.
downsides, too.
Oh, yeah. Can Nigerian companies handle these huge, complex assets?
That's the million-dollar question, huh?
It is. They got to show they can operate well, responsibly, sustainably.
The whole world's watching them now.
You could say that. And not just watching Nigeria either.
What do you mean?
Other African countries, they're looking at this too, you know.
If Nigeria can pull it off.
It could be a model for others to follow. So yeah, pivotal moment, not just for one country.
Wow, the stakes are high.
They are. And we can't forget, this industry, it's not just about numbers.
Right, there are real people affected. Absolutely. Millions of Nigerians, these leaders, their choices, they have to consider the impact, the social side, the environment.
Got to be responsible.
Yeah. Sustainable development, making sure the benefits are shared fairly.
Profits are one thing, but it's got to be good for everyone long term.
Well said. Well said. People, planet, and prosperity. That's the goal. Right?
Yeah. Couldn't have put it better myself. So, bottom line, what do we want our listeners to walk away with today?
This Nigerianization, it's a story that's just beginning. Lots of twists and turns ahead, for sure.
Full of potential, but lots of challenges too.
Exactly. It deserves our attention, our thought, well,
Our action even.
maybe. We'll see how it plays out. But for now, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been fascinating.
Likewise. And to everyone listening, stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged. Until next time.